Racing Series 6, but first of all I'd like to take a register. Damon?
Yes, Miss Morgan.
McCallum?
Yes, miss.
Blair?
Yes, Miss Morgan.
Bateman?
Yo.
Morstead?
Yes, miss.
And Maggie?
Miss, he's not here. He kissed a girl, now he's sick.
Right, okay then. So, we're going to go to Las Vegas, Croatia, France, Germany, Austria, and of course, Telford.
Hooray! Miss, can we go to Bangkok?
Only if you're very good. Or really bad. But first, Telford, where head boy Nick Damon has all the details.
Thank you, Miss Morgan. Yes, we're here again in Telford for our 5th visit to the Neo. This time is the Neo 11, and it probably boasts more world champions than any other event ever. There's a world champion there, there's one over there, there's multiple one over there, there's another one down there. There are European champions all over there, all at the Neo 11, and the man who's put it all together again is Phil Morstead, and he's over there with Sean.
So, Phil, how are you finding this week's event?
Pretty good. I think the most important thing so far has been the weather, actually. It's been really good, much better than previous years.
Yeah, it was quite windy last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit cold, so at the moment we're blessed with some sun for once.
What are you expecting from this year's event?
Hopefully really good racing, a little bit of drama is always good, but hopefully I just want a good final, that's all.
And what do you think the competition's like this year compared to last year?
I think it's tougher than ever. I mean, it's always been a high level of competition, but I think year on, it just gets bigger and better.
Well, the lineup is certainly something to write home about. But on the track, will the event bring the red-hot Neo buggy action we become accustomed to? We join John Hindhoff for the first semi-final.
So standing by for action then with Jared Tebo on pole position. Gets a reasonable start, but not great. All the action is behind him is Ryan Mayfield trying to hold on to second place, and he's under pressure straight away by Darren Bloomfield there. But Tebo leads out through onto the technical section of this circuit. Third place now, good start by Robert Bataille. So the leader then is our pole sitter. Don't forget it's the top 7 in the final plus 1 fastest loser, so time is relevant here. Well, certainly if you're outside of that top 7, and we've got the top 5 there breaking away. Now these guys, if they play this smart, really don't need to be battling each other too hard. So out goes the leader again. It's getting a little bit interesting for third place, as we've got 1, 2, 3 buggies now together. Oh, and there goes the second place car. I think that is Mayfield, who's made a mistake there, and he's compounded that by missing the whoops, and that's dropped him well down. He may well be struggling at the bottom end of the top 7 now, and that could be curtains for his final aspirations. See if we can pick him up coming through as Tebo continues to lead from Bataille now in second, and Shin Adachi from 7th on the grid is up to challenge as well. Wonder where Ryan Mayfield has dropped back to after that uncharacteristic mistake. Was that a quick flash of him there in 4th position? I think it is. So he did drop down much further than that, so he's done all right actually to get back into qualification zone. Top 7 that we're looking at. Now that is the battle for third, excuse me, Bloomfield and Adachi, with Bataille in second place ahead of these two. Oh, that's nice work there. Adachi just for the moment gets through. Can he hold on to it? He hops over the corner there and actually goes outside the circuit, but he was in the air. Can't really be penalised for that. That's just a nice piece of driving. And that is Ryan Mayfield joining in this battle as well, the third of those 3 buggies. You can just see him in the background. There he is, popping out in the dark. Oh, another mistake! A mistake by Adachi. That's a shame. He'd fought very well to get up to that point. But now, and I think that was Mayfield going over again in the background there. Bloomfield then on his own in third place. Here's the battle for fourth. Adachi and Mayfield. And now who's that? That's Ronafalk who's in there as well. Ronafalk then in on the number 5 buggy. This is not the kind of concentration we're used to seeing, particularly when you get to semi-finals. Except, I should say, from our leader, Jared Tebo, and there he is. He's been really unchallenged. Didn't get the best of starts, but managed to hold off the marauding horde behind him and set off into the distance. Now, looking at the battle for second place, and that is Robert Bataille. Looks like he is gaining a little bit on the leader. Yes, and the lap time suggesting that as well. That's a nice rhythm that Robert has got himself into, riding the bumps very well indeed. Started off grid 4, hence the number 4 on the side of the buggy. And look, that's confident driving, isn't it? He's really letting the machine move around, and he's really eating into the lead. Now remember, it is the top 7 plus fastest loser, so this is effectively for grid position and bragging rights as well. Say curse the commentator there. And we've got traffic as well now coming into play. That's Mikkel Johansson, who they are about to put a lap on if they get to him. Over the whoops again, controlling the attitude of the buggy. And a little mistake by the leader, controlling the attitude of the buggy in the air by throttling on and off. The leader gets caught up with the back marker, and then so does Robert Bataille. Ooh, well, that Marshall was very lucky there, and very quick work by him to get them both back on without losing too much time. Could have been disaster for one or either of the leading pair there as they carved their way through black markers. And again, the leader getting caught up where he doesn't really need to, and Tebo now has got to fend off that challenge through the air. For a moment, I would think Bataille was in the lead. He has confirmed that now, as the number 4 buggy is leading out. Took the lead on the whoops. Got the power down nice and early. And now Tebo has got to hold his nerve. Try and stay there. He's still got to qualify. There's more danger though for the leader ahead as there's accidents in front of him. Moving into the closing stages of the race now. And it is still Bataille, but Tebo's not giving this one up, is he? There's a big battle right ahead, and this, well, that was Lee Martin getting in the way when he didn't need to, and Robert Bataille getting through that one more by good luck than good management. He's very, very quick out of that slow corner onto the fast straight. Bit of bodywork coming off the lapped buggy there. Could have just taken his concentration, couldn't it? Flick your eye onto that little bit of red bodywork, and all of a sudden you've got it all wrong. He's still under pressure though. The red buggy is a lapped down. And moving in towards the final pit stop area now. This 20-minute contest. There is the leader. Lap car between himself and second place, and that just gives him a breathing space into the pit lane. Now, this is absolutely important. Leader and second place in together, and they come out. That's a nice pit stop by both of them, and in fact, they come out pretty much as they were. So the pit crew working very nicely indeed for Tebo and Bataille. Tebo still in second place on the Kyosho, Bataille leading out on the Mugen. Got to say that Bataille has impressed me here, fought his way through, and he just seems to have the measure of what is a tricky circuit. The drivers enjoying the challenges being set here. The technical sections are very technical, getting the power down, not easy. It's not just about getting it pointing in the straight line and getting all the power on. Lots of places where it's partial throttle. And there is Tebo in the mostly white and blue in second place, keeping the leader honest. Oh, the leader makes a mistake, and there is, oh, and the marshals having to stay out of the way there for a moment, and that's cost at least a couple of places for Robert Bataille, and he may not have enough time to recover now. Shinadachi there has gone through. Oh, that is a disaster, and there is Jared Tebo who has taken advantage. That's Mayfield, who's gone back up into 4th position at the moment. He's been doing a good job after he threw away the lead earlier on. Looks like he might just about stay on the lead lap, maybe not. Darren Bloomfield just in behind him there. Oh, and there is Mayfield going over, so he drops another position. He's been up and down the top 10. Should still qualify. Darren Bloomfield now, and just going through lap traffic. I think that was Jerome Algon in the British Championship this year on his low seat. Looking fairly secure. Again, carnage out there on the main straight that had to be dealt with. Over the whoops, coming towards the closing stages now. Darren Bloomfield now up into 2nd place. Haven't seen that much of him, but he's just been keeping on starting grid 3. And no sign of the leader, so he's not putting pressure on. Now there is Neumann on the Durango, and behind him is Shinadachi, qualified together and are racing together at the moment. That is a battle for position. The number 8 is Jon Neumann as he comes, oh, and makes a mistake, gets a big slide on there, and Adachi goes through. Yeah, will he be able to, and Adachi's made a mistake as well, gives the position back. How very gentlemanly of him. So back to the front of the field, and on his last lap for Jared Tebo on the Kyosho. Really did it all off the start, didn't look tremendously in charge until about 2 corners in, but from then on he has not been headed, even through the pit stops. Good work in the pits by his crew, has turned him around, and there is our winner, a perfect picture of concentration. So confirming the top 5 with Tebo winning, Darren Bloomfield through into 2nd, Bataille 3rd, then Mayfield recovering to 4th ahead of Neumann and Adachi, your top 6. A mention for Elliot Boots just outside the qualification, but came up from 14th to 8th.
Tebo, seemed like a reasonably simple win, that first semi-final.
Yeah, it went pretty good, just wanted to get a good start, and me and Robert were able to, get out pretty good, and then we seemed like we caught traffic pretty fast, and we both kind of got tangled up, and he got in front of me, and then I don't know what happened, but he had crashed, and then I got back in the lead and just had a good rhythm going, was able to get through traffic pretty clean after the first group that we caught up to, and yeah, I was just trying to drive my own race and get the lines dialed in for the final, and yeah, it was awesome. It felt good to finally run good. I kind of was fighting setup stuff the last 2 qualifiers and also in the semi-practice, and changed it up a little bit and definitely went the right direction. So nice to get a little confidence going into the final.
A strong performance from Jared in Semi-A, but was it enough to take pole? Let's go to John Hindhoff and find out if anyone from the B Semi can go quicker.
And the Ninja will get us underway for the 2nd semi-final. Good start by the pole man. Gets away, that's Ryan Lutz. There's a bit of a conflab behind him. Through goes, is that Neil Craig that's gone into the lead from grid 3? I think it is. Yes, it is, he goes through. That's been a good start from him. All kinds of nightmares going on behind. Cavalieri seems to have flamed in the background, and that is a disaster for the American. We expected him to show well. He may struggle to qualify from here, as Cragg then leads it out. Lutz and Bear, 2nd and 3rd position. They're having a bit of a battle. 4th position, looks like Tessman coming through there from grid 5 on the hot body. As this leading quartet just beginning to stretch away, as in the first semi-final. Top 7 qualify as of right now. Battle for the lead. It's a little bit close for comfort. And it's still Craig leading from Lutz in the purple car. In second, purple buggy in second place, down through that tight right-hander. Looks to me as though Craig... Oh, and a mistake by the second place man. Lutz goes over. He loses a position. Does he? No, he doesn't. Oh, now that's Tessman. Tessman's up to third, so he's disposed of Bear, and now he's looking for second position. Great recovery by Lutz. Often it takes more than just a couple of corners to get your concentration back. But in fairness, Ryan Lutz... Oh, well, what am I saying? What am I saying? As Tessman goes through into second place now, with Bear in third. And Tessman makes a little bit of a mistake. Now, is that Lutz back on all four wheels? Yes, it is. This is the three-buggy battle for second place, and what a battle this is. It's allowing Neil Craig to get away. Tessman, Bear, Lutz, and Tessman makes a mistake and then holds up Lutz. And this is Bear now, the third of these three in the purple buggy, trying to get round the outside. Oh, there's Bear going through. Tessman loses a position. New second place man then. Just for a moment. No, he's held on to it. Oh, he hasn't. He's hit the whoops there in the middle. He got that all wrong. And there's Bear going back through. Unbelievable. Oh, dear me. This is very combative out there. Bear has hit Tessman. It looks like Tessman's got a problem. So Lutz has gone back through into second place. Oh, yeah, no, I thought that looked like it had a steering problem. It has. It's gone back to pit lane. And that is Tessman on the hot bodies. Andy Moore looking down. And I think he was relaying the bad news that effectively is game over. Back to battle for second. For a moment it was all on there with Lutz and Bear. Interesting little vignette there with now Willits having caught them up. Simon Willits from grid 13 on the Mugen, so that's been a good run. He was promoted through from the quarterfinals. And that green buggy, one of the Mugen entered machines, showing well for a moment. He's just dropped off the pace there. Don't forget, Neil Craig is still out front. Lutz in third. There's Bear just ahead of him in second position. And again, Bear had one of those topsy-turvy runs. Interesting, actually, how this circuit has played out over the past few days. More than one or two drivers, I think, taking it rather too casually. Not quite as we get that battle for second again. I'll finish that thought in a moment, with Bear and Lutz rejoining the battle. Circuit perhaps not as challenging as it has been in previous years, and I just wonder if the drivers, as I say, have taken it a little bit too casually as this battle for second rages on, as we've seen an awful lot of mistakes from people who are normally very secure indeed. This is good news for Neil Craig. He's away and gone. And this is the battle for second. And they now have dropped Willits. Willits has dropped well away from this, from challenging just, a couple of laps ago. Willits now having a battle of his own. That's Atsushi Hara, who's come through from grid 12. Not very often we say that Atsushi has come through the quarters, and he makes short work of Willits there, going up into fourth position, and Willits gets him back. Nice move. Quality stuff. So these two guys who were battling in the quarters have rejoined the scrap in the semi-final, well inside the qualifying for the final. Battling for third and fourth position. Hara not having the best of the qualifying, unusually for him, but has raced his way through to be in with a chance of qualification. 2008 World Champion makes a mistake there, but so does Willits. He gets caught up with someone else's accident. Oh, nice through the legs move by the marshal there, getting Willits, Simon Willits from grid 13 back going again, but Hara's gone through. Let's have another look at that. There's just a little ding on the back from Hara, but in the meantime Willits gets caught up in his own accident. That may have been Bear, I think, that they were catching up. Now, we lost Ryan Cavalieri early on flamed out and lost the best part of a lap. He's fighting his way back through the field in some clear air now and cranking off some terrific laps. And he may yet have a chance in qualifying, you know. The pace out front by Neil Cragg is not so bad that he's gone and lapped the whole field, not by any stretch of the imagination. But just by my very basic calculations, this looks like it's a slower semi, so he will have to get in the top 7 to be sure. Cody King, world champion, in a repeat of the World Championship battle with Tsuchihara right behind him as they battle for position. That's for 4th and 5th, I think. King fighting his way through again as well. Just a little mistake there. As Hara smells blood. Tries to get onto challenge. Cody King's had a cracking year. And looking to continue his success. And the Kyosho. Now, Neil Cragg, we haven't seen too much of him because, quite frankly, he hasn't been challenged. Hasn't really had to give it his all on the Durango. He's paced himself very nicely on the Associated, excuse me. He's paced himself very, very nicely. And won't be as quick as the first semi, but that doesn't matter for him. He's through, and he's done it in style. Took his opportunity early on when some cooler heads weren't prevailing, or some of the experienced heads weren't as cool as we might have seen them. And there we are. A sigh of relief for our winner, Neil Cragg. Ryan Lutz follows him home in 2nd place, and Martin Bayes 3rd. Atsuchihara up from 12th to 4th. Cody King to 5th position, and Ryan Cavalieri, after that nightmare at the start, does recover and qualifies as of right in 6th position.
Neil Cragg, relatively easy, and I'm slightly surprising win that semi.
Wasn't easy at all, trust me. I was really nervous. I just wanted to get a good start, get my head down, and just take it from there. I wanted to get past the corner double and then see what happens, and I got a bit lucky, so.
Then you ran a pretty clean 20 minutes. I mean, is there a lot of difference for this 45-minute final? Do you have to make many changes to the car, or just carry on running as it is?
Hopefully the tyres are going to wear a little bit more, obviously, and I'm not quite sure the compound's going to be right for the main final, but I got to sit down with my dad now and have a think about it.
Thanks, Neil. Good luck. As Sushi, you're preparing for a 45-minute final. We've had 2 difficult races already.
Yes, it is very exciting, and I feel like I'm coming back for the off-road racing, so I'm just looking forward for the final.
And a big fight in the semi-final with Cody King, a bit like the Worlds last year.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like, yes. And he mistake, so I win this time.
And what are you going to do anything different for the main final? Any changes to the car?
I just changed to the tires. Just now I make a revolver from Proline. The semi I use a whole shot mini pin, but I feel like a bit loose when it's more dusty, so I just change tires.
Best of luck, Ashley. Thanks.
Thank you.
Adam, it's not often the person who just makes a bump up who's probably had the most impressive race, but you missed the first minute. What happened?
The start of the race, we went down the end of the main straight. I just checked up to make sure I gave Neil enough room, and I guess the idle was a little bit low. The engine cut, and the challenge was where I was standing on the driver's stand was right in the middle, so that's also where my mechanics were. So they had to come out through a crowd of people, back in through a crowd of people before they started me. Cavalieri also flamed out at the start, but he had someone right at the end of pit lane, so he probably refired 8 to 10 seconds before me. So I just tried to keep a cool head and you know, do the best that I could do, and luckily it worked out for me.
With the semis done, let's take a breather from all that smoke and noise and check out the latest 1/8 electric phenomena bursting out of HPI's factory doors.